Original post, February 2, 2024. So, my 36 female, ex-husband Tom 35 male, left me for his work wife Tammy 25 female 2 years ago. I never liked her even before I found out about their relationship. The first time I met her at a work event she told me while I was heavily pregnant with my youngest, "Better up your wife game or I might steal him off you." Well, 3 months later she did. This woman literally came with him to help pack the day he moved out and tried to have a one-on-one conversation on how she wanted our relationship going forward because she was going to be in my life. Then said as a joke, "Told you I'd steal him away." Not going to lie, I'm thankful she did, because then my ex made a comment about her being 23 and her brain not being fully developed. I got the ex so bad it turned my heartbreak into relief. I got everything in the divorce because I got him and his affair fog and gave 50-50 custody for our kids' sake. I'm civil for the sake of my kids so we can both attend events without drama, but other than that I honestly couldn't care less about them. Around June Tammy came instead of Tom for pick and practically skipped towards me to show off her engagement ring, saying she wanted me as a bridesmaid along with my daughters for something I didn't catch because I was in a rush to get our cat to the vet. She got upset because I just said her whole conversation per Tom's texts a few hours later. The same thing happened again in September when she told me she was pregnant, which again my zero fucks given upset her. In December when she told me the second I opened the car door Tom's finally getting a son, to which I sarcastically replied, "I'm sure Lord Tom's excited for an heir to take over his lands and titles," which caused drama too because Tom's family found it hilarious when Tammy was bad-mouthing me. December was the last time I saw her till today at drop-off with Tom. As they approached me, I noticed Tammy didn't look pregnant anymore. Tammy tearfully said, "We lost the baby." I didn't answer, just told Tom our second daughter has a birthday party tomorrow at 3 and the oldest has gymnastics at 5. Tammy literally screamed at me I was a heartless bitch and bitter, then grabbed the girls' bags walking away. Tom said I could show a little humanity towards Tammy, and regardless of my feelings she is my kid's stepmother. I told Tom I don't care about what he is going through because outside our kids I don't care about them, and I don't owe Tammy anything, especially pity. He called me an asshole, along with other things, and left. Usually this wouldn't bother me, but my ex-in-laws, who I have a good relationship, have told me I should have shown Tammy some empathy and at the very least pretended to care for the sake of the kids. Relevant comments. Comment 1. So, you're supposed to show empathy to someone who ruined your marriage and goes out of their way to get a reaction out of you? No. Not the asshole. OP. She said she wanted to be friends and tells people like my in-laws that I can't put the past behind me for the sake of the kids, even called me a pick-me. Comment 2. He's no longer your problem, he's hers until she becomes too old for him. Enjoy your life, that's the best revenge. OP. I'm enjoying my life honestly. Single life is so underrated. I adopted 2 senior cats last week because I found out at my local book club our shelter has an end-of-life event every month so you can give a senior cat a loving home before the end. I think when my kids are grown, I'm going to be the local cat lady everyone thinks is a witch. Comment 3. Not the asshole, you should have filed for more custody. He isn't mentally well. She doesn't deserve shit. A better person than me, cause when she said that at the party, I'd have broken her nose if I was the same sex. You owe neither of them anything aside from the little human interaction needed to make sure the kids are taken care of. He is a piece of shit, and she is a terrible human who I'm sure I'm going to get flack for this bit but got what she had coming. Karma. You are cordial and don't deny their father access to them 50-50. I'm going to take on good faith that you don't badmouth him in your home when he isn't there, but the kids are. Interactions out of sight and earshot of the kids that are not sugar, rainbows, and unicorns are not on you to make sure they are. She is an adulterer, homewrecker, and self-centered narcissist, who has been trying to rub this in your face and use your kids' emotions and well-being as a shield for herself from the consequences. Screw her. OP. No, I'd never badmouth him to the kids ever. Don't get me wrong, at the start of everything I did shit-talk them both with my family and friends, but now couldn't care less about them. Our oldest is 13, then we have a 12, 7 and 2-year-old, so I'm going to let them form their own opinions as they grow older about them. I will say Tammy is a good stepmom, which I'm glad. Comment 4. I still wouldn't trust Tammy not to try to poison them against you, out of spite. OP. My girls are extremely smart and my oldest told her father I've never said a bad word about him to them, so she wouldn't stand for it, nor would she tell them any information about me. Both Tom and Tammy have asked multiple questions about me in the past to the kids and they tried to convince them I was a bad person during the bridesmaid situation my oldest told me and her grandmother, ex-mother-in-law. I told my ex I'd take him back to court if it ever happened again and his family said they'd back me. Update 1, February 3, 2024. So, I texted Tom today due to Tammy's mental state. I prefer if he or his mom would do all the pickups from now on, and if Tammy's mental health gets any worse, I want the girls full-time for a couple of weeks. Still, it's a healthier environment for the kids. Tom tried to call me, but I texted him I prefer texts and he said wanted to have a heart-to-heart. Yeah, not going to happen. I asked if it involved the girls, and he said yes, but it's also about all of us going forward and the relationship he wishes for us to have. Basically he wanted family therapy with himself, me, Tammy, and the kids. I said if he thinks the kids need to see a therapist, I would be happy to find one we both can agree on, but again he just kept bringing it back to us, so after a few hours knowing it was going nowhere I just left him on read. I called my ex-in-laws, told them the situation and how I don't want to be involved with anything Tammy and Tom unless my kids are involved. I reminded them I've expressed multiple times I don't care, and I don't want anything more than a civil co-parent relationship. I told them even though I value my friendship with ex-in-laws I will go contact if it happens again. Mother-in-law apologized saying she was very emotional because at the end of the day, Tom is her son and he was heartbroken, plus the baby was her grandchild, which I completely understand, and I forgive her. Now here is where it gets weird. Tammy showed up at my house. Now I've watched enough true crime to know not to open the door, and I talked to her with the doorbell cam. She was crying saying she was sorry, and she just wanted to be my friend. Then she said I needed to forgive her because she lost her baby as karma for what she did to me. She was saying other stuff, but I couldn't understand her. I rang the police, then my brother and Tom. She didn't get arrested or anything, but Tom talked to my brother and said he was taking her home and agreed it's best if I have them full-time for now. My girls are at home safe. My brother will be staying with me for the foreseeable future. I'll be seeing a lawyer first thing Monday about full custody and a restraining order because I have a sinking feeling it's going to get worse. Before it gets brought up, I just kept telling Tammy to leave my property because I don't want to hear it. I don't know why I was brought into this because I was looking forward to my chill weekend. I'd like to also say for the people in my last post calling me jealous and bitter, I've nothing to be jealous of. Someone who cheats on you isn't a prize, he is Tammy's problem now. And for those of you saying I don't care about my ex's life means I'm not over him because I don't want to be friends with him or Tammy, your ex moved on. When they say leave them alone, they're not playing hard to get, they really don't want to talk to you. Relevant comments. Comment 1, I hope it gets better for you. But as you said, and I agree with you, it's going to get worse. I don't understand what it is that people want you to do. He cheated. Left and both of you moved on. Why should you care about his life? If it doesn't involve your children, it doesn't involve you. Your happiness trumps whatever he is going on in his life. OP, they want me to be the bitter evil ex-wife to justify themselves, even though I feel nothing towards either of them. Like I'd have the same reaction if they told me that day they won the lottery. I've gotten to a place where I'm happy with my life and love it. Maybe they think that since I've not gone on a date since the divorce, I'm still not moved on, but I've not dated anyone because I don't want to. Single life is awesome, why ruin it? Update 2, February 5, 2024. I won't be updating till all the legal issues are over with and my own mental health is in a better place, so it could take anything up to 3 to 6 months. I spoke to a lawyer today. I'm obviously not going to go into details, but with all the evidence and witnesses on my side I've a good shot at getting full custody, but it's only day 1 and nothing has started yet. Tom sexually assaulted me. It didn't go far thanks to my brother, but it's left me very shaken. I agreed to let Tom come over to visit the kids whenever he wanted, so when he came over yesterday evening and went into the garden with the kids, I went for a shower. Coming out of the bathroom he cornered me about wanting to talk. I told him it wasn't the time and told him to either go out to the girls or leave. He started saying he made a mistake, Tammy was a nut job and he wanted to come home to us. I told him to get the hell out of my house and there is no us, so he started saying stuff I physically can't type without breaking down, then tried to force a makeout session, to put it politely. Thankfully my brother heard and came running. Unfortunately, the kids heard everything when my brother and Tom started fighting. I was in complete shock at the time to try to do anything to help the situation. Even when Tom was being taken away, I was too scared to move and couldn't confront my crying children. Not my proudest moment. Remember I said before I adopted older cats? Well, I put cameras through common areas in my home to watch them while I'm at work. One of those areas is the hall between my room and the bathroom. I don't know what to do with Tom going forward, but I know I can't face him ever again, even with supervision from my father or brother who both work in law enforcement. Tammy sent hundreds of messages to me and my oldest too, but I can't block her by my lawyer's request. My ex-in-laws have reached out and told me they'll help me in whatever way I need. His sisters have disowned him, but this is still all very new, they might change their minds. I plan on moving after everything gets sorted, so I won't ever cross Tammy's path. Thank you all for your love and support. Hopefully, I can give you all a positive update in the future, and to the young men sending messages asking for nudes or sending me pictures of your privates, thanks for the laugh, but I'm done with dick. Relevant comments. Comment 1, Blimey. You poor thing. I am so sorry for you and very sad that you had to endure this. I hope the children didn't see their dad violating their mother. Best of luck in the future. OP. They didn't see he told them he went in for drinks, but due to me screaming they came in and saw my brother bashing their dad off stuff and calling him a rapist along with other things. Tom tried to fight my brother to get away. Just to be clear, my ex didn't get as far as to rape me. Comment 2, still, it's scary for kids. I can't see why your ex would think this was appropriate when he came over to be with the children. OP. I don't know what was going through his and Tammy's heads to be this focused on me when they should be seeking comfort in each other, but Tom did say I never lost any of his kids when it was happening. Like, if I'm being honest, he was saying some unhinged creepy things like I've known him since I was 14. It was like I was looking at Tom, but at the same time it wasn't him, if that makes sense. Comment 3, Christ on a bike. I thought police involvement would be because of Tammy, not Tom. I thought Tom would try to get you back when he realized how badly he screwed up by leaving you for Tammy. But sexual assault is not the way to make a woman think, hell yes, let's go, you can come home at once? I'm so glad you had your brother there to rescue you. What the feck is he on that he thought to himself, how do I get my ex-wife back? I know I'll force myself upon her, that'll make her want me back. Really, Tom, freaking really? Please don't beat yourself up for freezing, as it's a fairly common reaction to assault. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Please tell me you're pressing charges. I would also suggest counseling for you and your girls when you're ready, as this is going to stay with all of you. Again, I'm so sorry he did this to you. OP, yeah, I'm going to press charges and my kids will get counseling because my oldest is blaming herself and won't leave my side. Update 3, March 9, 2024. Hi guys, I thought I'd give you what is possibly the last update. Now this isn't going to be epic or anything. So, after everything happened, I was going to press charges for sexual assault, but my ex's family reached out. They wanted to meet with their lawyer. Instead of going the court way, my ex said he'd give me full custody and a large amount of money for the girls more when they got older. I was shown proof of the accounts that were set up with the money already deposited, which can't be touched till they were 18. I took them up on their offer with a condition of my own. Now I know what everyone is going to say, but having a dad on the offender list plus all the courts would have hurt my daughters more. My condition was he leave the country and I would allow one FaceTime a month to each girl who willingly wanted to talk to him, and if our daughters decided they wanted to speak to him more, I'd let them. Ex agreed and haven't heard from him since. According to Tammy's Facebook Lives, he ghosted her and took the wedding fund her dad gifted them. I couldn't get a restraining order against Tammy because apparently unless she does something bad she is not a threat. Even though she's shown up at my home and kids' school multiple times, but I guess that's okay in the eyes of the law. I will be moving, though I'm not even going to drop a hint where or when, because Tammy and well everyone in our town knows about this post after Tammy drunkenly read it out to shame me. As for my kids, they're not taking everything well. They hate their dad but at the same time miss him. I've put them in therapy and hopefully, they can heal in time. As for me, I'm in therapy too, and I've realized I never want to get married again or even be in a romantic relationship. I want to be the cat lady everyone assumes is a witch. I don't know why we ever let society fool us into thinking marriage was better than a cozy life with cats. Thank you, Reddit, for everything. As you, Tammy L, know you'll read this, but I wanted to thank you for stealing my husband. You did me the biggest favor in the world. Relevant comments. Comment 1, crazy cat lady in a cottage in the woods is absolutely goals. OP, why have a wedding ring when you can have cats and a cauldron? Comment 2, I love Tammy's ending. If you're reading this, I was rooting for you to fall so hard that I think that alone was enough to push you off the cliff. I don't like the husband's ending because he should be branded a sex offender. He is a danger to women. Fortunately, the wild gossip in his town will haunt him. OP, his sister slapped him and told him every woman that he'll ever meet she'll tell them what he had done and do to Tammy. Everyone knows what he is. Comment 3, I don't get why your ex ghosted and stole the wedding funds from Tammy. Was that used to pay for your kids' trust or something? And by the way, I hope there's a way to file a restraining order on Tammy. Her lurking near the school where the kids are is creepy as hell, and your home too. OP, I can't answer the question about the money because I honestly don't know. Maybe Tom gave me everything and needed it, or maybe Tammy is lying. I honestly don't know. For the restraining order I've tried, unless she posed a physical threat like she harmed me or my daughters, they won't do anything, unfortunately. Comment 4, regarding Tammy, are there any stalking laws where you live? OP, unless Tammy hurts me / my kids or outright says she going to kill us. Nothing really. Literally had one policeman say when she came to my older girl's school, She was a skinny 5 feet 2 inches girl. She wasn't a danger to anyone, thank goodness. Their schools took it seriously though. Story 2, I 27 female was accused of baby trapping by my 28 male fiancé when my tubes are tied. Original post, March 1, 2024. I had an argument with my fiancé this morning. We've been dating for 2 years, engaged since September, and for the most part, everything has been going well. We've been planning a quiet backyard ceremony so that we can save up for a house instead. We've been communicative and managed to get through fights in the past, but this takes the cake. He's been evasive for the past 2 weeks about the wedding or any future plans we've made, and I basically had to corner him this morning before leaving for work to ask him what was going on. Turns out, while he was dog-sitting for his uncle early in February, they had a chat that stuck with him. When they were talking about life and how things have been, his uncle admitted he resented his ex-wife for baby-trapping him, and now he's divorced while his ex-wife is dating again, and my fiancé's cousin is an entitled asshat who terrorized him when they were both teenagers. Turns out it's been sitting in his mind. He says that he thinks I'm about to spring a pregnancy announcement on him and trap him in the marriage. This is despite the fact that he knows that I don't want kids. I basically raised my siblings and lost out on my childhood. I told him about not wanting kids when we first started dating. We were both on the same page and I've asked him about getting a vasectomy in the past, which is why it is surprising that he thinks that I'm trying to baby trap him. The thing is, the first chance I got my tubes tied. I literally can't get pregnant. I reminded him of this fact, and that made him go really quiet. He didn't even apologize or say anything, so I told him that if he's going to be like this over a made-up issue in his head, I don't know how much I'd trust him in a real crisis. Now I'm wondering if I was too harsh and what steps we can take to move forward. Or if I'm the right amount of angry and I should just end it. I have no idea what to do right now. Relevant comments. Comment 1, is this the only time he's pulled something like this, or does he have a history of being easily influenced by people he maybe shouldn't be taking advice from, especially when that advice isn't even applicable to his situation? OP, he sometimes gets influenced by things he sees online, it's why we avoid using apps like Facebook. But he rarely takes advice from his family, especially his uncle since they weren't that close before his divorce. Comment 2, he says that he thinks you're about to spring a pregnancy announcement on him and trap him in the marriage. I'm confused. You stated that this man intends on marrying you, right? You're engaged? Baby trapping is when someone intentionally gets pregnant using methods like deception to keep their partner from leaving the relationship. Does he actually intend on marrying you? You literally can't get pregnant. You reminded him of this fact, and that made him go really quiet. He didn't even apologize or say anything. I would demand a response from him. His words and behavior are a red flag. I would postpone the wedding until the relationship is in a better place. Maybe this needs to be addressed with a counselor. OP, the only reason I didn't drag a response from him is that I would have been late for work, and I had a meeting I couldn't miss. But if he doesn't have a response when I get home, I'm definitely going to call off the wedding, if not the relationship. Comment 3, his uncle sounds like a real winner. Misogyny at its finest. Why is he afraid of getting trapped into marriage when he's literally planning a wedding with you? Like, the heck? Marriage also isn't a trap, anyone can leave at any time, regardless of whether there's kids. And the fact that he forgot your tubes were tied. Is he dumb? You sound the right amount of angry to me. Personally, I'd be hesitant to marry someone who was so easily swayed by his sexist uncle that you're somehow trying to trick him into a life of misery. On top of that, he's been dwelling on this for 2 weeks and never once communicated what was going on with him. He just completely checked out until you forced it out of him. I'm not sure I'd want to marry anyone who A, thinks marriage is a trap for men and B, let his uncle convince him you're just like his ex-wife in one conversation. C, can't communicate or apologize. D, surrounds himself with such shitty male role models, and E, doesn't understand how tied tubes work. OP, I think this is exactly my problem. I don't know if he thinks I deliberately ruin my life just to mess his up, or I've been lying since I met him. I don't want to make a knee-jerk decision, but I'm seriously reconsidering this relationship. Comment 4, based on how you've described him and some other comments. Is he mentally challenged in some way or what's the deal? OP, he's not. He's a smart guy but he's weak when it comes to social influence. At best, he's impressionable, at worst he can be somewhat spineless. I thought that he had improved a lot over the past couple of years, but I guess I was wrong. Update, March 8, 2024, 7 days later. It's been an exhausting week, both at home and work. Basically, we're not engaged anymore, He's moving back to his parents, and our relationship is over while he works on for himself. He wasn't cheating, nor was there a secret baby on the side. Half a yes to him having second thoughts, half yes to him being influenced by family and friends. I won't go too much into the details, just that his uncle's family were always awful to him. They were always the go-to babysitters, and he has trouble standing up to the generation of his family. He's impressionable, and he has trouble separating fact from fiction because of that in them. Another factor is that one of his formerly child-free friends announced his wife's pregnancy during New Year's, and he's been excited about it. My ex-fiancé's wondering if he'd change his mind, especially since his parents do want to have grandchildren and have been asking if we're going to wait before having them. After dog-sitting for his uncle, apparently, all that combined in his mind that I changed my mind and I'd surprise him about it. Which is the core of the matter for me. Whether he forgot I had my tubes tied doesn't matter. He was projecting his fears, anxiety, and trauma onto me and punishing me for something that I didn't even do or say, and then made me out to be a deceptive partner because of that projection. He stopped trusting me because he was afraid of what the warped version he built up in his mind might do. That wasn't okay, and that's why I ended it. He's been moving his stuff out all week and he told me he's going back into therapy. His parents will be there to help him, and they separately apologized to me. They had no idea how bad his anxiety is. I'll be there to support him as a friend, and I've been trying to say that it's on pause, but typing this out also makes me realize that no matter what, I wouldn't be able to win against those fears, nor can I trust him to ever really fully trust me against them. Assuming he ever did. Thanks for your input, Reddit. Some of the thoughts did help me steer the conversation, but ultimately it still boiled down to a broken trust, and I don't think we're coming back from that. That's some next level anxiety and overthinking. I feel kind of bad for the guy, but I think OP was right to end the relationship. I can't imagine dating someone that easily influenced by people he doesn't even know that well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.